Alrighty, everyone. DSP here. Welcome back to Ask the King for Thanksgiving 2019. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. We're on to segment 2. We're going to continue on with more questions from the forums. In the interim, though, we did have a cheer come in from PW Dubs during the break, and he said, do you feel like being overly open and revealing has hurt you? Not meaning like you're doing bad right now, but like having things that people can throw in your face. I would say, yeah, over the years, I was open and honest with everyone. And that's all well and good. Number one, when you're doing really well financially. And number two, when you have a really positive public opinion of yourself, like everyone likes you. But when people sadly start to have issues with what you're doing and, either now you need support or whatever in other ways than just making ad revenue on videos, all of a sudden every little thing becomes something to nitpick and complain about and criticize and just basically be nasty about. And that's kind of what happened with me for, years. I was an open guy. I told everyone everything. And then all of a sudden when things started to go sour and I needed more support in other ways like Patreon or contributions on streams, etc., all of a sudden now Phil's the beggar villain who constantly is doing things. It's like, wait a minute. But every streamer does this stuff. But because I do it now, I'm the villain just because I didn't used to do it, right? And then people would literally micro-analyze every little thing from every video. Oh my God, Phil did a vlog in his kitchen and I saw something on his countertop and what is that? Could it be expensive? And ridiculous shit. You see what I mean? So really what it became is that I had to separate my private life from my public face on streams and make it so that, yes, sometimes I will reveal stuff and sometimes I have to keep stuff private, and it's just a necessary thing now to keep myself and my family safe. And I'm okay with that, but sadly some people are not. They're like, oh my God, that Phil would now do this. What is he hiding from us? What, like I said, one of the biggest things this year that people said was a negative was that I didn't tell people about my wedding before it happened because I was protecting my family. I'm someone who I've been swatted before. I've had insanely nasty things happen to me offline that you guys don't even know about. Do you really think I'm going to risk telling you guys about getting married and how fucked up people could have done things to that, and my family members that were going to be there and everything? But because I kept that stuff private, somehow that was being dishonest to my viewers. Like, no, I was being safe with my own family and my own future. I'm not an idiot, but some people just don't get that. So, it is what it is. And things change over time, and it sucks that, people still, to this day, criticize me for basically just trying to be safe, but that's life. Mr. Terrorhawk also cheered. He's a proud member of the DSP OGs. Keep up the good work and much success. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Mr. Terrorhawk. Thank you very much. Okay. Continuing on, let's get back to the forum questions, everybody. By the way, I should check on sub count because some people keep saying 666 subs. I wonder if we're still at that. No, we're at 672 subs. So thanks to those who subscribed today. Let's actually update that leaderboard. Now we can get that off there and people can stop saying the number of the beast. All right. The next question is from Botch Specialist, and he asks two questions. He says, first of all, number one, in the worst case scenario, if YouTube goes full steam ahead with COPPA or COPPA, whatever people are calling it now, and demonetizing content, will you focus more on providing Patreon perks? And number two, how would you change Twitch's video archive structure so that it could compete more with YouTube? Good luck and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Botch Specialist. So first of all, for those who don't know about the whole COPPA fiasco, I'll just put it in a nutshell. YouTube got sued because YouTube was not abiding by the law. The law says that when you advertise to children, you can only advertise certain things and in certain ways. YouTube automates everything on their website and was just putting any old ad on a video that a child was watching. And so there were video content on YouTube, a YouTube channel where all people do is unbox stuff, children's toys, okay? Obviously, children are watching those videos, and they were putting adult advertisements on that. Gameplay videos that are literally people dressing up, looking like cartoon characters and catering to a children's audience that only children were watching, having adult advertisements on them. So those kinds of videos were being out on YouTube. YouTube was not abiding by the law and controlling the advertisements that were on them. They got sued by the government. They lost miserably. They lost, I think it was almost $200 million in damages. And now they have to change the way that their business works, okay? Already the change has gone into effect that everyone has to identify whether or not their YouTube channel is children's content or not. I myself have said, no, it's not. My stuff is very adult-oriented. I swear, I talk about adult issues. I'm playing adult-rated games. This is not children's content that I put out on the internet at all. I wouldn't say a single piece of content that I put out over the years is for small children. Okay, not a single person, not a single piece. That doesn't mean YouTube won't fuck it up. YouTube has screwed things up so many times over the years. It's very possible that they will categorize all video gaming content as for children, and now people can't advertise on it anymore. That would make absolutely no sense. It would be completely against the law, but they do that I mean, they already broke the law. Why not just keep breaking it? You know, they do stupid shit, so they could do whatever they want. So everyone is like panicking. The sky is falling. In January, everything falls apart, and everyone's YouTube channel will explode. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. I can tell you this. I'm not going to change what I do. I'm going to keep putting out fun gameplay streams for you every day. I'm going to archive it on YouTube. Nothing there is going to change, okay? The only thing that I could see changing, whether or not I get to make ad revenue on my gameplay videos on YouTube or not. I don't foresee them blanket banning anyone making gameplay and saying that it's not allowed to be monetized anymore. That would be pretty fucking insane, I would think. At the same time, I don't trust them to do the right thing. So, worst case scenario, if I can't monetize my YouTube stuff anymore, very matter of factly, I would tell you guys I need to make more money on streams, or I can't make ends meet. And hopefully what would happen is people who watch stuff would step up and say, okay, this really sucks. There's no ads on Phil's videos anymore. We're going to support him in other ways. Now, Botch Specialist suggests Patreon. That's pretty much not what I would do. I would have to go even full on more into a streaming aspect, because streaming then would end up being 100% my lifeblood, where I'm making my money from, right? So whether it's more incentives to contribute on streams or whatever, I'll have to think up something. But that's what it would be. Okay. The good news here is, being very matter of fact with all of you, YouTube ad revenue has plummeted so badly in the past 2.5 to 3 years. It's maybe in a month, I want to say maybe 10 to 15% of what I make a month. Maybe. I could be wrong, but it's not a lot in comparison to what it used to be. So is it going to hurt me? Absolutely. It would hurt me tons if I didn't make any money on YouTube ad revenue. But it's not like, oh my God, end of the world, the sky is falling, because I think I would maybe be able to make it up in other places. I don't know. But essentially, I hope that doesn't happen. Okay? I hope that it ends up being, I'm not affected, and we could just move forward as we've been doing and keep doing what we're doing. All right, but we don't know. No one knows. Okay, but certainly it wouldn't be towards Patreon, because Patreon really was something that was set up at a point when I was doing a lot of YouTube related stuff. Now I would say the stuff cheering, subbing, tipping during streams, that's more catered towards, or stream sub goals, that's more catered towards streaming. You see what I mean? So doing something more catered towards streaming rather than Patreon. I think the reason that Botch Specialist brings up Patreon is because people who are full-time YouTubers, which I'm not anymore, but people who are full-time YouTubers, oh man, I made my whole living on YouTube. Now I can't make any ad revenue on YouTube anymore. Please pledge to my Patreon. You see what I mean? They're not live streamers who are going to say, oh, come to my live streams and contribute. They're going to say, pledge to my Patreon. I think that's what he's been hearing, and he's wondering if I'm going to go that way. No, it would be, things for the streams in particular. So, okay. Now your second half of your question is, how would you change Twitch's video archive structure so that it could compete more with YouTube? A few things. I mean, first of all, Twitch does not have an on-demand video search engine, right? All it has is search for a streaming channel. You can't, if I had 100 playthroughs up right now on Twitch, you can't even search for that playthrough. All you could do is search for a content creator based on what they stream daily. So how would you even know that Darkside Phil has a playthrough of Death Stranding live on Twitch that you can watch on demand right now? You wouldn't. There's no way to even figure that out. They would need to make a robust video archiving and searching structure that would work just like YouTube's. Now, in addition, the major complaint that I get about people watching stuff on demand on Twitch is the bandwidth. That apparently when you watch something on twitch.tv, it eats up way more bandwidth than when you watch something on YouTube. That people can watch videos on demand on YouTube who don't have great internet, and they can just watch it at a lower quality, and they could still follow my playthroughs. They could still watch the archive streams, and that's why I still upload to YouTube on a daily basis for the people who can't make the streams and wouldn't even be able to watch the on-demand stuff on Twitch. So Twitch would have to do some pretty big overhauls, making a bigger archive system with a search functionality so you can actually find someone's archive channel and their body of work and figure out what they've done and watch that stuff on there. But in addition, make it so that's easy for the viewer that doesn't have great bandwidth so they can watch those videos. That's why people have said over the years, Phil, why do you even bother with YouTube? Just keep your stuff archived on Twitch. That's why. It's that simple. Like, it's not even manageable. It really isn't even manageable to find content that someone's archived on Twitch. It's only easy to find the streaming channel, and that's it, right? Let's see here. Shout out to Baba Joe, who tipped me $15. Thank you very much, Baba Joe. That is the biggest contribution of the day, as well as the biggest tip, so thank you for that, Baba Joe. Let me get you up on the leaderboard here. And that gets us to $26 in tips so far on the stream today. Thank you, guys. Keep in mind, this is the only stream I'm doing today, so I'm much appreciative of any contributions coming in, guys. Thank you. Dark Maggot has resubbed for 40 months. Dark Maggot, one of my longest ongoing supporters. Thank you very much, man. Back in the day, he used to make artwork and everything for me. Some of the artwork I show on this very pre-stream, or excuse me, on this stream from the breaks is from Dark Maggot. So thank you very much, man. Good to see ya. Hogwash Cheered, he says, what's your schedule like on your day off? Do you work out or spend time in nature or anything like that? Get up. Usually I got to do things around the house before we go out. So whatever it is I need to do before we go out that day, I got to get done right away. Prepare for our day out, get whatever things I need for appointments and things we're doing that day to make sure we have it. Got to make a big list of things we're going out to buy that day, grocery list, as well as anything else we need for the house. You know, wash up, get ready for the day, get dressed. And then usually we're out. If we're hungry, we usually grab a bite to eat right away, whether it's breakfast or lunch, usually something quick to eat. And then we're out and about doing whatever we need to do for the day. I would say it's a mix. Usually we try to do a 50-50 mix of kind of boring stuff like grocery shopping and shit we don't want to do, and then maybe doing some fun stuff that we like to do. And sometimes we get dinner, sometimes we don't, but most of the time we try to get a meal out if we can, not something super expensive usually, but some kind of a nice meal together, so at least we have one nice meal a week out together. And then usually we come home, we unpack whatever, groceries and whatever else we bought for that day, and then we have some relaxation time that night together, whether it's watching the other day, we watched a couple movies together on Disney Plus, which was really nice. There you go. Very exciting, right? Okay, PW Dubs at 100-bit cheer. He says, would you consider ever joining another YouTube company like Machinima? I forgot what other types there are. No, there's no point. There was a time when those partnership companies had a benefit. Those days are long over. Now on YouTube, you essentially get the same ads no matter who you're with, whether you're with a partnership company or not. You get the same advertisements. There was a time when you would get way more lucrative advertisements if you were with the partnership company. They did away with that about a year and a half ago. So now everyone gets the same. There's no reason to be with a partnership company unless they're providing some kind of a protection. Like, for example, if you're with a partnership company that gave you a managed partnership, oh shit, so now I don't get content ID claims out the butt anymore. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Then go with it, right? Or if you're with a partnership company that says, oh, we're actually going to provide an incentive. Like, we're going to give you promotional opportunities. We're going to provide you with free games. We're going to give you paid sponsorships. That's different. But outside of that, just being with a partnership company gives zero benefit on YouTube anymore. They changed the system last year. So, Richard Link cheered. It says, hope you are having a great holiday. My smoked turkey with Coca-Cola inside was amazing. That's right. He said that he actually made a turkey stuffed with like Coke and other ingredients. He says it was amazing. That's awesome. Glad to hear that, Richard. And so far, so good. In fact, my wife is about to start cooking right now. So, Hank Hill Propane God is back for 22 months of support as a resub. Thank you, man. And what kind of foods are traditional DSP Thanksgiving cuisines? Some kind of turkey, some kind of stuffing, cranberry sauce, and some kind of potatoes. Typically are the big four for me. You want all four of those in one shape or form, or else you're doing it wrong. So there you go. Okay, let's continue on. So, back to the forum questions, everyone. Derek, what's going on, Derek? I don't know if he's actually here today. I don't think he is, but he actually asked a couple questions I want to answer here. He says, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I had my Canadian Thanksgiving back in October. Here's my question. Speaking of Thanksgiving, what did you do for Thanksgiving when you were a kid? Were there any special Thanksgiving traditions that you did with your family? Also, I want to know, what is your favorite way to give back and help others, and who are you thankful for as well? Have a great Thanksgiving filled with Jasper and Kat. So, I already answered the what am I thankful for at the very beginning of the show. If you didn't see part one, go check that out because I actually kind of already answered that one. That's already been answered. But Thanksgiving traditions when I was a kid, cooking all day long, man. My mom absolutely loved to cook Thanksgiving dinner, whether it's stuffing a turkey with her own homemade stuffing, yams or sweet potatoes. Trying to think of the things she would always make. Usually it was turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, and some kind of bread. Those were like the four for her, the big four for my mom. So the house smelling so great all day long. My dad sometimes liked to watch football, but for me it was more like a game. When I was younger, play with action figures, just have a good day, and then later play video games. Like that was video game day for me, man. Play games all day because no school, nothing going on. Play video games. That was kind of the thing for me. And the Thanksgiving Day parade. Yes, I did enjoy watching the Thanksgiving Day parade with my family as well on Thanksgiving Day. So those are probably our traditions for that. Let's see here. The other part of your question, what was my favorite way to give back and help others? Well, I've said this many times over the years, and I'll say it again. I believe that charity is something that should not be done publicly. It's something that should be done privately, because when you are truly charitable and you are giving of yourself to something, you should not benefit from it. It shouldn't be, we raised a certain amount of money for charity today. Oh, now I'm a good guy and now everyone kisses my butt for it. That's not what I'm all about. I've never been like that. And if and when I do donate to charity, which I sometimes do, I don't ever talk about it publicly because I don't feel that I should ever get an iota of benefit from it. It should be something that you give of yourself to help, not, I gave of myself to look good. You see what I mean? That's why honestly I was so strongly against those memeable charity events like the Ice Bucket Challenge and things many years ago that lots of people hated on me for. And I said, but you don't seem to understand that that's completely against my philosophy of what charity should be. You're doing something good to help. You're not doing something good so you help and then you benefit from it too. In fact, I almost feel like if you benefit from it publicly, you're underhanded and you're not really doing it for the right reasons, okay? So, Derek, I do actually sometimes give to charity. I'll be honest, these days it's not huge things, but every once in a while, if there's, you want to donate to charity while you're here? Sure, I will. I'll throw in a couple bucks to donate to charity or whatever. But I would never publicly tell you guys, this is the charitable thing I'm doing or whatever, or anything like that. I'm not all about that. Okay, I'm not. I'm not going to do that because I feel that that's completely dishonest, underhanded, and if anything, it actually shows that you're more selfish than anything else. That's my personal philosophy. You can completely disagree with that. That's perfectly fine on your own part, but I've always been of that mentality. Okay? All right. I do see that some contributions came in, but I want to do another forum question before we keep going back and forth. So the next question is from Cookie Monster 414, and he asked the following. He says, Phil, happy Thanksgiving. With Black Friday coming soon, I'm thinking of buying one of the new powerful consoles, either the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro. Now, given the fact that we know the PS5 and the Xbox Scarlet are right around the corner coming next year, should I hold off and wait for those to release or get a good deal on the current consoles now? Also, what are you expecting from the new consoles coming next year? Do you think game streaming will be the future of gaming moving forward, given that most of the big companies want to move in that direction? Thanks, and keep on keeping on. Quote from Death Stranding. Very nice. So, good questions, in my opinion. So the first question, what about buying a new game console now? Is it a good idea to buy it right now in late 2019, or should you hold off and wait for the next-gen consoles in 2020? My experience is all I can speak from. What I can speak from is that when these new consoles come out, the first year typically is not very good. Usually the first year that a game console comes out is very lackluster with the games that come out for it. A lot of the times you get games that are cross-platform that end up being on the last gen and the current gen, and the current gen isn't even that much different from the last gen. And these companies realize that not everyone's going to buy a game at launch. They're going to want to keep making games for the last gen, at least for another year or two anyway. And typically, now would be the time, now through the end of next year. So the next year will be the absolute best time to buy the current gen consoles. Reason being, they're on the way out. And these companies know that, and they want to get them out of here to make room for the new consoles. So they're going to have giant bundle deals. I guarantee you, probably they're going to have, like, for $300 to $400, you'll get Xbox One X or PS4 Pro, plus 2 or 3 games, plus maybe an extra controller, maybe even expansion hard drive. You know what I mean? Like, giant savings of hundreds of dollars bundles this holiday season. They do this every single time. What I would say is this. If you do not have a current PS4 Pro or Xbox One, absolutely now is a great time to buy one. Absolutely. You have an entire console generation of amazing games to choose from that you can probably buy at big discounted prices. You could play the best of this generation over the next year before the generation even ends at a really discounted rate. And that way you're caught up so you don't feel like you missed out on this last console generation before the new one hits late next year. All right? If you're someone like me, who you've played most of the big games of this console generation, and really there's no real benefit, no, I don't think that there's a reason to go buy the upgraded version of a console this late into the console gen. You see what I mean? Like, for me, last year, getting the PS4 Pro was a really big, awesome thing because, number one, my original PS4 was having tons of issues. It was at disc read errors. It was ejecting the discs. The optical audio out stopped working half the time. It was telling me I had too many USB devices plugged in when I only had one. The whole console was falling apart at the seams, and I needed something right away to replace that so that I could keep doing my streams. It made sense to get the PS4 Pro then, because if you're going to pay to have a console that's an upgrade, you know, to a replacement, might as well get the upgrade, get the better frame rate, the better graphics, the better performance, and obviously the best of the hardware as well that's available for that console gen. So, if you did not at all play PS4 or Xbox One, yeah, definitely get a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X in the next year and save tons of money and enjoy all the games that everyone else has been enjoying. But if you already have the console from this generation and you already played all the best games, maybe you're going to get another 2 years of use out of that console before it becomes outdated. I mean, think of it this way. When the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, how much longer was the Xbox 360 and PS3 really supported? Like another year? And even then, it was a tough sell to buy games on the last-gen console. See what I mean? So I would say it depends personally on your situation, Cookie Monster, and I don't know your situation, all right? Now, your second half of your question, he says, what are you expecting from the new consoles coming next year? Do you think that game streaming will be the future of gaming moving forward, given that most companies want to move in that direction? I don't know what you mean by game streaming. Do you mean live broadcasting your gameplay on the internet, like on Twitch or whatever? Or do you mean the streaming of games over the internet? You don't have to buy them anymore offline. You get them all online only. I would say game streaming is here to stay. Yes, more people want to do it casually on a daily basis, but I don't think that it's a major concern for the console people. I think that they realize just having it integrated into it is a nice feature. They already have that on the Xbox One and the PS4, so it wouldn't be like a giant leap for them to have it again and maybe even improve it a bit. I don't think that's their focus. I think for them, they do want to move out of the disc-based media. They want to say, get the hell out of here with the disc-based media and go pure digital. And yes, maybe even eventually have it streaming based rather than having to buy and download ahead of time. But sadly, like I've told you guys, I think the internet is not there yet. You know, Google Stadia is trying that and failing miserably right now. It's a laughing stock of the gaming world because the thing doesn't work. So I would say yes to streaming games online only. I think that you're going to have a big movement away from physical discs in the next console generation, and maybe by the end of the next console gen, that's the end. You won't even see GameStop and stores like that are probably going to go out of business, and you won't even see that anymore. It's going to be all digital based. I definitely see that. As the internet improves, it's going to become more and more digital based. That's what I'm feeling. Okay? Okay. Now let's do some shout outs. Internet famous McCroy to me $6.66. And says, is giving you money on streams to directly support you enough to offset this is how you don't play videos. I think it's fair for you to get some compensation since you're entertaining. The internet would be a boring place without you. Listen, I don't care what you watch. I've actually said this recently. I don't really care what you guys watch outside of my streams at all. You want to go watch This Is How You Don't Play? That's fine. All right? Go ahead. I can't stop you. And quite frankly, if you only want to watch a negative skewed version of what I do that leaves out all the positive stuff, I can't stop it. I can't help it. And I'm not going to old Phil what is it? Oh my God, it's unfair. Man, stomped his feet and acted like an asshole. I don't do that. Like, do whatever you want. But what I would say is, thank you for coming to the stream and being supportive of the stream as well. Because you just said something very important. You said, this is compensation. You're entertaining. I want you to still be here to keep making the content so everyone else can do the other stuff on your behalf, right? Exactly. If I'm not still here to put out the daily content, This Is How You Don't Play goes away. All those people who illegally restream my shit every day go away. They all just vanish overnight. Me as a person, as a content creator, I've actually created other spin-offs that I'm not even involved in. They just exist, right? So as long as you support me directly in some way, I appreciate that, and that's the way to go about it. I don't care what else you're watching, as long as you do come and help support so I can still be here. You know what I mean? The difference between you and someone who's like, man, I love people who make fun of Phil. Oh, man, but I wish that Phil would go out of business, and I hope that people only go and watch the people who steal from him. That's crazy. What will they do when I'm gone? Right? Like, it doesn't even make logical sense. But then again, those people don't make logical sense. They're out for this, and they're greed. They don't care about, wow, if Phil actually couldn't make enough money to make ends meet, he'd be gone for good. And then we wouldn't be able to do our content. They're not smart enough to even fucking realize that. So, definitely, I would say thank you for coming by. Even if you watch This Is How You Don't Play and you watch other negative stuff, thank you for at least coming by and being supportive of the person who actually is the responsible for all that existing. Thank you. Fluffy Cows for you tipped me $3. Said, have you considered going clean shaven again? It helped boost my confidence. Not sure on your stance. I don't want to go clean shaven. I like the beard. My wife likes the beard. There's no reason to change it. And I'm not going to get any confidence boost by shaving. Middle Class Liberal Softy subscribed for 19 months. He says, do you plan on playing Danganronpa 3 anytime soon? Anytime soon? Probably not. Will I play it eventually? Probably yes. Let's see here. Hogwash did a 50-bit cheers. Have you thought about moving to a smaller house that's not a gated community? I feel like it would put way less financial strain on you. This house is not putting financial strain on me. And no, I'm not doing that because it would be very, very detrimental to myself and the business. There's no way I'd be able to move out of this house to another house. Number one, I have no credit to do it. Number two, I have no money to do it. Number three, I wouldn't be able to work. It's impossible. PW Dubs did a 90-bit cheers. Says, are you ever afraid of the question a troll might post on forums for Ask the King, like negative questions? No, they do it all the time. I just ignore them. I get tons of stupid questions. I just ignore. That's not something I'm going to focus on for Ask the King, you know? That would be a waste of everybody's time. Nighttime Tums did a 100-bit cheer and says you should put a cat tower behind you so we can see Jasper while you game. Jasper is not that kind of cat. I've told you guys. Jasper is the kind of cat he wants attention. And so if you're paying attention to him, he'll stick around. If you're not paying attention to him, he's gone. So on pre-streams, I'm in here. He's in here. He's in the window. I talk to him a little bit. As soon as I start talking to you guys on pre-stream, within a few minutes, he's out of here. He's like, man, Phil's not paying attention to me. He's gone. And you've noticed when he's in here, he tries to get my attention. He's crawling over me. He's crawling behind me. As soon as he realizes I'm playing a game, I'm not going to give him the attention he wants. He's out of here. If I put a cat tower behind me, if I wasn't paying attention to him, he'd leave anyway. So it wouldn't work. His cat towers, he doesn't really use that much. He uses his cat tower, he doesn't use that much. He only sleeps in it in the summer. When it was warm, what it would do, it would actually warm up in the sun, and he would go in and it felt like, oh, it's nice. He's sunning during the daytime, right? But now that it's the winter, he doesn't use the cat tower anymore. He actually just runs around the house a little bit more. He has more energy, and he sleeps in completely different places now that it's the winter time. So, but yeah, if I put a cat tower behind me, he wouldn't even go in. I'm telling you, he would jump up for a minute, and then leave. Mr. Bravavera cheered. He says, throwing in my 2 cents, you can have incentives for charity, and there is good charity like Child's Play or Direct Relief. 100% proceeds go to charity. The incentives could be something like a special stream that people want. There's one person I know that has been doing this for 8 years. They've raised $500,000. He's also a one-man show. He's not doing things for attention, sponsorships, or views, and he's a super sweet guy. And listen, I get that. There is a feeling of, like, overall, like, a public feeling of doing something good, doing a public charity. I wanted to do one years ago. I've told you guys the story. I had a charity event lined up for the late summer of 2015. I was going to do like a marathon stream, and I was going to have other streamers and other content creators join me. I had 2 people lined up to help, and I didn't have the details worked out yet, but it was going to be an event where it was going to be me raising money on stream. And then all that negative shit happened to me that year. I got swatted. I had copyright strikes against me that were false, that destroyed my channels and everything. And there was so much negativity thrown my way that year. I was like, I can't do it anymore. People will literally go out of their way to ruin stuff. And since then, I just haven't been in a position where I can even do that shit. You know, I want to, but I can't. The other thing is, as I told you guys, I'm a person that I don't feel like it would benefit the charity. Like, it would be negative. If I did a charity right now, I did a charity stream, you'd have so many people coming to the stream and streaming it in a negative way and shitting on me and shitting on the charity. It would just be so disgusting. This disgusting, toxic cloud of people make it not viable for me to do that kind of shit anymore. I wanted to do it. I had plans to do it, and I couldn't do it, all right? And like I've said, the other thing is I wouldn't want it to be spun in a way, oh, Phil's doing this to get popular for himself. No, it's not what I would do it, but, you know, I get the feeling that people would do that. And I have a strong personal belief that, yes, charity is something that should be done behind the scenes. So, there's one time in my life I was actually planning on doing it, and I wanted to strongly do it, and I had plans for it, and I was going to go against my personal beliefs to do it, and that was the year everyone just decided to ruin everything in my life, and I was like, I guess it's just not viable to ever do it ever again, you know? It sucks. I want to do charity. I would love to do charity stuff, and it's just, it wouldn't work. There's too much negative stuff constantly going on with these idiots trying to ruin everything. And just think of how bad that is, right? Oh, we don't like Phil, so let's ruin money to be raised for a charity. And that's what they would do. That's how fucked up these people are. There's no logic behind what they're doing. They just ruin things for the sake of ruining it, not because, oh, there's a positive thing that comes of it or anything. You know what I mean? CM Fool did a couple dollar tips. He says, tell me the story of the Death Stranding. And then he says, can you tell me the story of Play the Quiet Man? Thank you, CM Fool, for the tips. I appreciate that. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Well, not get you up on the leaderboard. Let's add your tips to the overall leaderboard here. And then we'll get back to the forum questions here. And also, thank you to Pob, who has subscribed for 2 months. Thank you for the resub, Pob. I appreciate that. Okay. Alrighty. From Atlas Telemon. He says, Happy Thanksgiving. If there was any game franchise you could be a part of as a developer, artist, voice actor, or any capacity, what would it be and why? Man, you know, there's a few things. I would say I would love to give input on a fighting game to just explain the things that make a competitive fighting game fun for those who actually play them at a competitive level, which these people who make these fucking games don't understand anymore. But really, like, the one franchise I would have liked to have been in was Mass Effect before the whole franchise got ruined. Like, Mass Effect was the perfect combination in its prime of narrative, choice-based gameplay, fun shooting gameplay, RPG elements, world design, funny writing. You know, like, everything in the game was really top-notch. And it would have been cool that, oh, I'm a character in Mass Effect. Not that I would be a major character, but maybe I'm like a minor character you have interactions with or something. A vendor on a station who has joking dialogue or something would have been pretty neat. That was a long fucking time ago. You know what I mean? That was a long fucking time ago. So, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing, you know, they ruined it. They seriously ruined it with where they went with that franchise and just, I don't even want to talk about it. I seriously don't even want to talk about it because I'm so disappointed with what happened with Mass Effect over the years. And now they've killed the franchise to the point where it doesn't exist anymore. We don't know if it'll ever come back, right? So, all right, continuing on. Eternal Napalm, what's going on, man? He asked a question. He says, I want to know if you had any odd random collections you were interested in other than gaming, like gemstones or coins or other oddball things like that. I would say not really. When I was a kid growing up, I was into cards. So I started off with sports cards. So it was like baseball cards, Topps baseball cards. Then I went to like higher quality, like Upper Deck baseball cards. But then I kind of didn't care about baseball anymore. So I got into a few other kinds of cards. And then I got into comic books. So that was my other collecting thing. So I was collecting cards and comic books at the same time. And there was a lot of crossover. So I would collect cards from like movie franchises. Like I remember when the original Batman Tim Burton movie came out. I tried to collect all the cards that they had for that. I tried to collect cartoon cards. Like they had Ninja Turtle cards and stuff like that. But then When comic books became the huge thing and collectibles exploded in the early 90s, you had these crossovers. So I had comic books like X-Men, Spider-Man, those that I was collecting and reading. And as I was doing that, I would try to do all the series. So they had the X-Men card series that I had all of series 1 and 2. Marvel Masterpieces, which was professional artists painting pictures of Marvel characters. I had Marvel Masterpiece series 1 and 2, the entire sets. And you would try to get the chase cards, which were the rare insert cards that weren't part of the main set, but like really valuable. So I had that kind of stuff for a long time. I actually collected comic book cards, I'd say for a good 3 to 4 years in the early 90s, while I was also collecting comic books. And then I'd say probably around the mid to late 90s, when I started getting more into competitive Street Fighter than anything else, I kind of forgot about those hobbies. I still followed along and followed some of the plot lines and read a lot of the comics, but it wasn't a big thing to collect the stuff anymore. And then that was when weird stuff had Pogs. Remember Pogs? And just weird collectible shit started like exploding. That was like the peak time. The mid to late 90s was the peak time. Oh, the other thing I collected, admittedly, Spawn action figures. When I was a kid, they were huge. The Spawn series of action figures from McFarlane Toys were like ginormously popular and worth a lot of money. So I would try to collect all of the action figures of the Spawn series, and they were really neat. So sports cards leading into comic book cards, pop culture cards, comic books, and Spawn action figures were the three things that were huge collectibles for me back when I was young. And then basically when video games became all the rage and I was about competitive Street Fighter, I forgot about all that stuff and never really went back to it. I gave all of it away, actually. Just handed it out to people. Okay. Continuing on. How much? We're over half an hour in? Okay. All right, continuing on. Awful Waffle asked a series of questions that were actually quite interesting questions, so let's go ahead. First thing, do you miss the age before cell phones and smartphones, and how have smartphones changed our culture? Everyone does everything on a smartphone now. I check my emails on smartphone. I read tweets on a smartphone. I do a lot of work on a smartphone. A lot of people game on their smartphones, right? Whether it's full-fledged games or mobile games. We interact with social media on the smartphones. Our smartphones are like our ties to the world. It's like, in a lot of ways, a smartphone is human connection. Which is kind of freaking weird when you think about it, because it used to be actually going and talking to people in real life, and now it's smartphone. In a way, smartphone is instant gratification. You can order anything you want on a smartphone and get food quickly, or get it delivered within a day or two, whatever it may be outside of food, off the internet. So it's pretty crazy how smartphones have changed our lives. But you have to find a time that you disconnect. You know what I mean? You have to find a time that the smartphone isn't part of what you're doing. And I think a lot of people have problems disconnecting from the smartphone. This is here. Oh my God. This is it. This is my whole life is smartphone. It's like, yeah, but aren't you ever going to like put the phone down and do something offline from what you're doing? You see what I mean? Like, it's really messed up when you really think about it in a big picture standpoint, that this is our connection to everyone now instead of actually doing something in real life. So as long as you have that balance, I think you're fine. But sadly, a lot of people are just internet culture, smartphone culture. That's everything's off my phone. And that's the slippery slope of going into almost isolation. Even though you're connected always, you're isolating yourself even more from real life stuff. Then he asked, have you ever tried the Virtual Boy? And if yes, what are your thoughts on it? Yes. Back in the day when they used to have video rental and video game rental places, Blockbuster Video actually had demo units of the Virtual Boy in their stores. And I tried the Virtual Boy a few times. I think I played one that was like a racing game and one that was tennis, Mario Tennis. And it was neat because it had this 3D effect on the screen, but it was all black and white. And I could tell you after playing for about 10 minutes, you get a headache. You'd actually get a headache playing it. So it was an interesting idea. It was way before the time of true virtual reality, and it was something that Nintendo wanted to try as a crazy gimmick. And the thing is, no one could really do it for more than a few minutes without getting a headache. So for me, it was like I would never want to buy or play this thing, I don't know if anyone else's experiences were different, but they really never really supported it that well either. So next question from Awful Waffle. Do you ever watch random old streams of yours just for memories? Not really. Every once in a while, Maybe for pure nostalgia's sake, if I'm going to play a new game in a franchise, let's go back and watch a little bit of the old game or whatever. Very, very, very rarely. Most of the stuff that I do live, upload to YouTube, and never go back and watch again. So there you go. And how has married life changed you as a man? Not much, because I always was loyal to Kat. You know, it's not like, oh, married life, now it's time to stop doing irresponsible things and shit. You know, it's not. Like, for us, we were already living together for over a year before we were married. And had a very committed, loving relationship as it was. So for us, it was more like the formality of tying the knot and wearing the ring, rather than actually seeing a concrete change or anything like that. It's funny, because I know the reason that he asked this question, there's some people out there that like, oh, I'm going to be an irresponsible guy until I get married. That's the day when I'll really grow up. But I'm going to be totally irresponsible until then. I grew up a long fucking time ago. You know what I mean? Like, I never did stupid, irresponsible shit like that. So, okay. Mr. Papavera cheered. He says, I remember the era of Pogs that shared the same time with Duncan Butterfly Yo-Yos. I still have mine. Micro Machines and Garbage Pail Kids. They all had cliques of kids that would trade with each other, and it was like the back alley trading for kids. There was one kid that was known to be the dealer to go to. That's pretty funny. I never had that kind of a situation. I was always buy stuff from the store, have my own private collection. In fact, I was more of a private collector. I knew kids who were into it, but I never would trade or anything either. It was more like my own private collections and stuff. And then maybe going to like a comic book store or collectible store and talking with the owner about stuff and stuff like that. But Bender, to me, $10. Thank you very much, whoever Bender is. I appreciate the $10 tip very much. Thank you for the support today. And Sam Bridges just cheered and says, if you could have a live one on one debate between whoa, my God. I can't read this. If you could have a live one-on-one debate between you and your biggest detractor, if he offered to do it, he would leave you alone for good afterwards, would you do it? No, because there's bullshit. If this person was logical and had sense, they wouldn't do what they do to begin with. They're a liar. They would never do that. Because they would never leave me alone, because they need me to get popular. Without me, they don't exist. So they would need to constantly keep doing what they're doing. They would never just say, okay, I'll leave you alone. That's complete dishonest bullshit. I wouldn't trust them whatsoever. I mean, you're talking about people who steal and break the law on a daily basis. Of course, those people are going to lie to do whatever they want to get ahead. So no, it's bullshit. It's a stupid question. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to do is give a shout out to the following patrons who still give me ongoing support to this very day. Thank you very much. And, Thanksgiving, obviously a very appropriate day for me to give shout outs to the following people. Thank you to Villix and Fallen 1570, Big Tone 995, Casey Wood, Planet Jeff, Thomas McDonald, Sean Given, Last Rambo 341, Uncommon Sense, QPZMWN, David Denmark, Stormforce Gamer, Richie7, Show Creos, Steven Slater 007, and Michael Denayalt. Thank you guys very much. All right. We've also got, by the way, Jake Katz, goodbye for good. Now you're done. I just love how people, they get banned for acting like assholes. Then they get begged to be unbanned. I've changed. And then they come back and act like assholes again. Jake Katz is gone for good. He's never coming back. Okay. We have a few Twitter questions. And then what I'd like to do is do like an abridged final segment where we just basically kind of open it up to the stream chat. So let's do Twitter questions, okay? Leon asked me the following. Is there any holiday special you like to watch on or before Thanksgiving and Christmas? Yes. Thanksgiving is the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. And then there's another one that they did later on that has to do with the Pilgrims and the like. So that's fun stuff. I like watching those. For Christmas, there's tons, dude. Any of the Rankin Bass Christmas specials. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Year Without a Santa Claus. These are all classics in my mind that I grew up with watching every year for Christmas. I would say funny movie, Jingle All the Way is a great one. Scrooged, which is the version of A Christmas Carol starring Bill Murray from the 90s. Home Alone, 1 and 2. A Christmas Story, that's a huge, great movie. I grew up watching that every year with my parents. My dad, one of his favorite movies is A Christmas Story, and I love that movie too. Um, the Grinch, the original Grinch, the Dr. Seuss Grinch, not the live action Grinch with Jim Carrey, and not the Grinch from last year. The original animated special Grinch is a great one. Frosty the Snowman animated special. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a great movie. Man. And of course, the Muppets Christmas Carol is great. Any version of A Christmas Carol is usually really good. I've seen a Patrick Stewart version. Like, every version I've seen has been great. Oh, man. What else? Is there anything I've left out that's like a really great... Oh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a really good movie, although that really is a Thanksgiving movie, not a Christmas movie. Some people say Polar Express, but I never saw that when I was younger. I've seen it, and I was like, wow, this movie's fucking weird. Nightmare Before Christmas is weird because you could watch it as a Christmas movie, but I guess it's more like a Halloween movie. But I guess some people consider it both. I don't know. I don't know how to judge that one. Some people say Die Hard. I don't know about that. Gremlins, I actually consider Gremlins 1 a Christmas movie. The whole movie takes place during Christmas, and it's about a Christmas present. Yeah, it's a Christmas present gone wrong, but I still think it's a Christmas movie, so I would say Gremlins. I would. So Ornites just said March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy. That's actually one that my parents watched from their childhood, and it always seems to be on TV. I never usually watch it, but I know that it's a piece of American cinema, but I never really watched that one, so. All right, there you go. Let's continue on. Russian Man 101 asks, what do you think of the superior RPG? Oh, which do you think the superior RPG is? Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI? That's a really tough question, and it's a very subjective question. I would say they both have outstanding graphics. They both have outstanding stories. They both have outstanding gameplay. They both have outstanding replayability and longevity. But my personal preference would probably be Final Fantasy VI with Chrono Trigger just narrowly behind. And the only reason I say that is because Final Fantasy VI has more playable characters. Final Fantasy VI has a lot more customization of characters, meaning when you use the Magicite, you can teach each character different abilities and make them very different, while in Chrono Trigger, you're only ever going to learn certain abilities, and that's it. You see what I mean? Like, you're limited with what your characters can do in Chrono Trigger, while it's way more open-ended how you want to build your characters in Final Fantasy VI. Also, Final Fantasy VI is a longer game, has a lot more content to it, and is overall a longer game than Chrono Trigger. But I love them both. Truncation Nation asks, what has been your favorite chill Minecraft moment so far? There's been a million chill Minecraft moments. I would say building things and then looking at how amazing they are, like, afterward, and marveling at what I've done. Like, I can't believe I've done the things in Minecraft that I've done. Building giant trees and huge lighthouses and statues and farms and villages, and it's crazy the amount of shit that I've done in that game. Some of the best moments, chill moments, happen just relaxing. We're just talking and having a good time, and then something silly happens that we didn't expect, and you have a really good laugh. Yeah, I don't. There's not one definitive moment that stands out, but that's essentially one of the longest things I've ever done. Mr. Barbaveris is fishing. He says, whenever I'm fishing and I'm solely focused on just interacting with people is a really cool moment. There you go. AEW Talent Relations asked the following. Lately, I've been watching other streamers that are mainstream and popular, and some of them seem to acknowledge you on their streams. How does it feel to know that even after 10 years and regardless of the negativity, you've had an impact on streamers that are now mainstream and popular today? I mean, it's not that people don't know who I am. It's just that I don't think a lot of people like to mention me, sadly, because of these weirdos that follow me around negatively, right? But it's undoubted that I've been around for 11 years, and I was huge on YouTube at one time, and most people know who I am. Just look at this last year. A big hot topic is going on in gaming. I make a tweet about it. It goes viral, and everyone's talking about the tweets that I made. I have an interview with a popular YouTuber by the name of The Quartering, and everyone, again, is talking about me for a short period of time. But you see, like, I am pertinent. It's just that I never blew up like these guys. I never played the game. You know what I mean? Like, I never played the YouTube game where, oh, I have to have the fucking thumbnail with the cartoony face. And I never followed the trends that were going to make me super popular. I never kissed butt. I never got in with game companies so they would pay me for sponsorship and give me games early. I never did any of that shit. I was always my own man. And because of that, I never got to the big mainstream level like a lot of other people did. But that doesn't mean they don't know who I am, you know? Just because I don't have 1,000 people on every stream doesn't mean that I'm not known. It just means that I'm not white hot popular. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like that about me. A lot of people wish that I would have been less obstinate, less stubborn, and over the years I would have opened up to more possibilities of ways to make money and interact and things. And for me, it's kind of like, I never really wanted to do that. I never wanted to be the sellout. I never wanted to be the guy that was doing it for a buck. I wanted to be the guy that was doing it on a philosophy. And because of that, I've taken a lot of fucking hits and a lot of shit, you know? It is what it is, you know? But it's cool. It is cool to know that everyone kind of knows who I am. I don't think anyone really thinks that of anything. Like, even though everyone knows who I am, it's not like people hold me in a high regard. You know what I mean? But I think everyone knows who I am, so. Let's see here. Mr. Bravavera cheered again. He said, Star Wars Christmas special should be on everyone's watch list for the holidays. No, just kidding. It's terrible. Don't watch it. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows infamously it's one of the worst Christmas specials ever made. It was a tremendous joke at the time. So, thank you for the cheer. Richard Link cheered. He says, you ever watch The Family Matters with Urkel? I write fanfiction featuring Eddie and the bad choices on the streets. Yes, I used to watch Family Matters. I used to watch the entire TGIF lineup, including, what was it? There was Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step. What was the fourth one? I can't remember the fourth one right now. But there used to be a big block of, what do they call them? Sitcoms that were once a week, Friday nights, TGIF. And I used to watch that with my family. And then later on, I watched other sitcoms like Home Improvement and stuff like that. And then even later on, I watched Seinfeld and Friends. So, okay, guys, you know what? We finished all the questions fairly early. So what I'm going to do now, how about this? Instead of taking another break, let's not take another break. Let's open up the stream for everyone to just ask me some questions. And let's answer some stream questions. If you were waiting to contribute and ask me a question, you could do it now. I'm done with everyone's forum and Twitter questions, okay? Let's have a fun, maybe another half an hour or so to wrap up the show today. Sound good? We start off with Highway Cavalier did 100 bit cheers. Who's your favorite Muppet? Favorite Muppet out of all of them? Man, they all have such good things and good. The thing I like about the Muppets is every Muppet has a unique place where they can come in and have a really good comedic timing or like there's a Muppet for every situation. You know what I mean? I gotta go Kermit though. I gotta go Kermit. Kermit overall is the best one. He's the one that holds the fabric together. He's the moral guy, but he's also the one that kind of loses things and overreacts. And I like Kermit. So there you go. Phew. Okay, let's see here. Did I find it hard giving up red meat? Asked Hogwash. First of all, I didn't give up red meat. I still eat red meat from time to time. It's just not often. Like, once a week, if we're going to have a meal that has red meat in it, like burger meat or something, I'll do that. If I eat out once a week with Kat and I want to eat out, that's my day out to eat red meat when I'm out and I get a burger or something, I'll do that. But I just don't do it often. I can't do it all the time anymore. Did I find it hard? I'll say at first it was kind of weird because I was a guy that, oh man, I eat burgers whenever I want. I go out and get a big steak and I do. And then when I had to change that lifestyle, definitely it was different. But I would say over time, what happens is when you cut stuff out of your diet and your lifestyle, you find that you don't need it anymore and you become less dependent on it. It's almost like a drug. When you take a drug all the time, you're dependent on it. And if you don't have it, you get withdrawals. But after a while, once that drug's out of your system, you don't really desire it anymore. And that's kind of what happened with me with red meat is like I used to crave burgers. Now I like burgers, but I don't crave them anymore. I mean, yeah, right now I could think of a couple really good burgers that I would love to eat, but I'm not like, oh my God, I really want it so bad and I'm fiending. I would love to eat other stuff too that tastes good. I'm not fiending over the red meat anymore. So what I would say is after phasing it out of my diet, it's not a regular thing that I really desire anymore. If I want to get it when I'm out, I can, but I just do eat it once or twice a week tops, and then I don't really think about it that much anymore. So. Baldy asks, what was the biggest challenge from swapping platforms from Twitch to YouTube after doing it for so many years? First of all, basically not being isolated anymore, okay? Like, having that interactive factor of knowing you guys are always here and having to read what you're saying and give shout-outs for contributions, huge change. It used to just be, I play the game and focus on the game and that's it. And that's a ginormous change for me. And it was very challenging at first. It was like, wow, I'm not just playing the game anymore. I'm actually like have an audience to interact with. And it was very different. I didn't get it at first. I used to make fun of people who did that because I was an ignorant asshole. And then when I finally realized, wow, there's actually more positivity and fun in an interactive stream than there is of just playing a game by yourself, I realized what everyone else was getting on, this new trend, and I was like, wow, I was an asshole for criticizing it because I had never tried it before. Much like I had previously criticized people who played Minecraft and that kind of shit, I realized I was the buffoon in that situation, and I changed for the better, okay? But I would also say the transition of doing reactionary style comedy to instead reacting with you guys and having fun conversation and having it not overwhelm the game. And what I mean by that is when I used to do offline gaming, it was like, man, the game's going. If there's nothing interesting going on in the game, I have to make silly over-the-top jokes, irreverent humor, sexual references, ridiculous gender references. I have to do all this stuff to keep people entertained. Then it became, oh shit, it's not like that anymore. Now I have an audience to talk to directly all the time. So instead of that ridiculous, immature stuff, I can have fun conversations with people in the audience. And it's a balance of serious conversation with joking and funny stuff. You see what I mean? You still got to keep people entertained. It's just a different kind of entertainment, in my opinion. So it was very challenging. And I'll be honest, updating a leaderboard, juggling shout-outs and thank yous and everything is very challenging. So, let's see here. Alfred Aponte tipped me $1. He says, who is your favorite crew member character in Mass Effect from Shepard's crew? Man, a lot of them are great. Of the crew members, maybe Joker, because he's the funniest guy, and Seth Green did a really good job with the voice acting. If you're talking just pure crew members, if you're talking people in your party as well, I think Garrus had a really interesting plot line and a camaraderie with Shepard. Although other people did too over the years, so. Cookie Monster tipped me $1. He says, the right Muppet for the right situation. Big problems need big solutions. Nom 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 nom. Oh, I see. He was impersonating the Cookie Monster. Wow, I blew that one, huh? All right, well, thank you very much, Cookie Monster, for the $1 tip. Alice Telemon did a 95-bit cheer. He says, I think it would look cool if you had the She-Hulk statue behind your left shoulder. Would you consider it? First of all, those statues are over in my storage nook, packed up. And, I wouldn't want to start unpacking statues and putting them out again on streams like I used to. There's really no room here. There's about not even a foot between the back of my sofa and the wall. So the only way I could put anything here would be get like the world's tiniest table to sit here in the corner and put something on top of. But I don't think that I would want to put any statues or anything behind me. And the other thing is, like, just man, can I show you? Nah, it's probably too hard to do, but like what you see now, widescreen is not what you see on my normal camera. My normal camera cuts off right about where my hands are right now. So you really can't see anything behind me on my normal camera because it's only, what is that, 4:3 ratio. This is widescreen 16:9 ratio, so you can see way more. But yeah, I don't think I would want to put any statues or anything behind me. So, okay, let's see here. All right, so I'm opening up to more questions. If anyone has questions in the stream chat or, anything to toss my way, I could hang around for a little bit longer here and answer questions on the stream. Hold on. Damn it, I scrolled off the screen too fast while I was reading it. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. Do you think Don't you think making part of the stream a donation incentive would help bring in more donations? A lot of people made fun of you recently because of a charity issue. I don't even know what you're talking about. I really don't. People made fun of me because of a charity issue. What charity issue? I don't pay attention to that stupid shit. But no, I don't want. The thing is, we have tips goals. We have things on stream. People know that contributing helps. I don't have to constantly be mentioning we're driving to hit a goal and we're doing this and we're doing that. The thing is, if you do that constantly, then it becomes commonplace and not special anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a special thing going on and I need to raise funds in a short period of time to help me with something, I'll tell you guys about it. I'll be upfront and honest with all of you. I'll be transparent, and then people will usually step up and are very supportive, right? If every day it was, oh, we got to hit the tips goal, guys. We got to hit the tips goal. We got to hit this goal. We got to hit that goal. First of all, it's not about the fun of streaming anymore. It's about fundraising, which I'm not about. And also, it makes it not special anymore, right? It becomes commonplace, and, you know, then who cares? So, no, I'm not going to do that and become all about money. That's ridiculous. Internet famous McCroy, to me $2, says, who's a better TV dad, Red Foreman from That 70s Show or Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince? I have to go Uncle Phil by default because I've never seen a single episode of That 70s Show. I don't know anything about the dad, so I'll have to go Uncle Phil. There you go. I did see Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's see here. Fozen Lol did a 300-bit cheer and asks, I want to ask a personal question. When are you going to have kids, and do you want kids? Congrats on your wedding, bro. No, we don't want kids, and we have no plans of ever having kids. We talked about it. We neither of us want kids, for various reasons. Some personal, some financial, you know, many reasons, but we really don't want kids at all, and we're not going to have kids, you know. We have Jasper. Hecking Nope tipped me $5. He says, if streaming and YouTube had never come into your life, what kind of job do you think you would have been really good at? Doctor, program manager, electrician? I have no idea. It kind of is weird because even though there were jobs that I did a good job at, it never seemed like I was ever appreciated. Like that, the office job that I had at Helicopter Support, at first I was just a customer service rep. And I kept telling them, I feel like you're misusing me as a customer service rep. I want to do more work and I want to do better stuff than this. So they trained me to be a continuous improvement expert. They sent me to several trainings. I got certified. I ran events. I literally redesigned processes in their business from the ground up that made them more efficient and made the company make and save money. And then they laid me off. You see what I mean? Like, until this job, I never felt like anything I did really mattered. I felt like I was completely underappreciated, misused, and that people didn't give a shit about what I did. Once I started doing this as a hobby and then later on for a living, it was like my eyes were open to how life can be when people actually care about you and value you. And it's different. It's an amazing, unique feeling that I never had before in any job that I ever had in my whole freaking life. So, you know, what would I have been if I never ended up doing any content creation on the internet? I have no clue. I don't know if I ever would have found a job that valued me and wanted to actually let me excel and do things that I feel, you know what I mean? Like, my problem in life has always been that I'm not a person who kisses butt. Everyone knows that. And I'm not a person who is afraid of saying what he feels. And a lot of times in the world of corporate world especially, but just in the world of work in general, if you're not the pushover, you're not the rollover, you're not the person who kisses butt, you're not the person who absolutely just does everything you're told without question, you're the troublemaker and you're the person we don't want, right? And I think that's what happened in a lot of jobs that I had was, this is the guy who's rocking the boat. It's like, yeah, but I'm the guy who wants things to be better for your company. Why don't you let me make them better? Instead of just being a yes man and then everything falls apart. And that's actually exactly what happened at that helicopter company I worked for. Within a few years of me getting laid off, they went out of business. They split their workforce apart and sent people other places, and some people ended up doing completely other things in their lives because the whole plate fell apart. They didn't want to listen to reason. They just wanted to believe that everything was going to be sunshine and fucking rainbows forever. And they didn't want to be told, oh, here's how it really is. And so they lay me off and then they fall apart. It's like, I never understood that. But anyway, that's the thing, is like, that's not who I am. You guys know that. From the 11 years I've been a content creator, never have I been the guy who kisses ass, who's the pushover, who's afraid to tell it like it is. And because of that, companies don't want to work with me, right? Who wants to work with the guy who's going to be honest? We want a guy who's going to be the paid shill. And, you know, people hate me. Oh, well, you hate the person who's been the most honest with you over the years than anyone else who's ever been a fake on the internet. You know? So I don't know. Honestly, hecking nope. I don't know what on earth I would have done for a job because I don't know how things would have turned out. Let's see here. Turkey Baiter tipped me $1. Let's see what he says here. Oh my goodness. He says, wondering, could you go gobble gobble like a turkey in celebration of Thanksgiving? It would help me if you and Kat would give me a gobble gobble because my day sucked. Gobble gobble. Okay. There you go. Thanks for the $1 tip. I don't know what the hell is what is going on. I Killed Kenny. What's going on, man? He tipped me $5 and he says, Happy Thanksgiving, Phil. Did you hear about the Cyberpunk 2077 mocap sex scenes? Someone mentioned this the other day on stream. And, you know, I've said this earlier. I'll say it again. I'm sorry, but the more I'm hearing about Cyberpunk, I think I'm getting less interested in it. Reason being, like, okay, Witcher 3. One of the most lengthy, robust games ever made. A game that even if you don't like RPGs, you'd probably like Witcher 3. Tons of content, meaningful side content, amazing graphics, great story, great gameplay. I would say the gameplay actually less much than the rest of the game, but still a great game. Overall, one of the best games I've played in the last console gen. Okay? Cyberpunk. Oh, there's going to be mocapped sex scenes. What? Am I playing a game to fucking jerk off to people fucking having sex? This is stupid. I'm playing a game to have a fun, interactive experience that has meaning, and, you know, I'm not playing it to see people fucking bone. I could do that at any point. I don't need to fucking buy a game to do it. I don't need to buy a game to have people hear people talk like fucking sailors. Fuck, shit, dick, ass, fuck, titty, fuck. When you watch the trailer for Cyberpunk, that's all it is. And I'm looking at, the more I'm hearing about this game, it's like, what are they doing? What are they doing with this game? You had Witcher 3, which was the perfect balance of everything, and everyone agrees that game was a masterpiece. What the fuck are you doing with Cyberpunk? Why are you making it such a ridiculous, immature game with a crazy... Are they going for shock factor? Oh, well, maybe if they hear that we had mocap sex scenes in a video game, people will play it. Like, no. Actually, that turns me off. I don't want to see this fucking mocap sex scenes in a fucking video game. I just want to play a game and have fun, you know? So, I don't know. Like I said, the more I'm hearing about this stupid shit, the more it's actually turning me off to playing the game. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens the closer we get to it. Atlas Telemon cheered. He said, I'm very glad I stumbled upon your Street Fighter 4 videos back in 2008 and 9. Thanks for 11 years of fun. Thank you very much, Atlas Telemon, for the support. Awful Waffle cheered. He says, if you and Wings of Redemption do a collab stream, you break the internet. That's great, and I'm not ever doing that. The Paradox cheered. He says, we kind of know everything about Cyberpunk now. No point in getting it. I don't follow the spoilers and all of that. So, because of that, like, I don't know much about it. I was hoping it was going to be a game like Witcher, only with a modernized cyberpunk setting. It doesn't seem like it's going to be. It seems like they're doing all this weird shit. I don't know. All right, let's see. Let's move on. Any more questions, guys? Do I think Shawn Michaels should have defeated The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania? No. But at the same time, I think Brock Lesnar was a terrible choice. I think it should have been a situation where someone really benefited from it, right? Someone who beats an undefeated streak that long, you should get a giant push that now maybe your character didn't have the push it had, and now they do. Lesnar already had a push. Lesnar didn't need to beat The Undertaker. It was a complete waste, in my opinion. So... Would I go after Ludwig again? Only if I replayed Bloodborne again from start to finish and did the DLCs. But no, I'm not going to play it again for no reason. Internet famous McCroy tipped me $1. He says, aside from Mass Effect 3's ending, what was the most disappointing game? Most disappointing game ever? Oh, man, I can't answer that. I'd have to go back really and look at all the games I've ever played. I would say the most overhyped game that ended up being the biggest disappointment was The Order 1886. That game was 100% ultra hyped. This will be a game that shows off the PS4's graphics and quality. It's going to be a revolutionary game that changes everything. And the game was barely a game. Beep boop. Timmy $3 says, do you think you're a good person? Why or why not? I would say I try to be a good person, but life doesn't always allow me to be. And also, I'll be very frank, I have flaws. I have flaws that make me, sadly, make mistakes that hurt people. And that's sad that, you know, I want to improve myself as a person, but I know I'm not perfect, and I know that things that I do can have concrete consequences that will hurt others, and that sucks. I don't like hurting others. You know, I have a conscience that eats away at me for things that I've said and done over the years that I feel very bad about, and things that maybe I didn't even know I did wrong that I didn't know until after the fact, right? I try to live my life being a good person. I try now that I feel that I'm more responsible of a person and that I've matured. I try to be as good of a person as I possibly can be. But, you know, overall, do I feel I'm a good person? I mean, I hope so, but I don't think that's something for me to judge, you know? So there you go. Atlas Telemon cheered. He says, have you seen K1 fights? No, I've never seen a K1 fight ever. He actually cheered again. He says, what do you expect from Breath of the Wild 2? What would you like to see in it? I would like to see full-fledged dungeons return, because even though we had the mini dungeons that were puzzles, and even though that we had the creature dungeons, right, that were basically giant creatures that you could go inside and do a dungeon from, I want traditional dungeons to return, maybe themed dungeons and the like. I liked having the giant creatures, but I would like to have themed dungeons as well. Also, I would like to see the combat get more refined. The combat was quite good, but could definitely be improved upon. And I would like to see Breath of the Wild 2 actually have current-gen graphics. I'm sorry, Breath of the Wild 1 did not. You know, on the Wii U and on the Switch, it did not look as good as other modern games. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it could have been better. I want once Nintendo to put out a game that's comparative to other games that are out, and they haven't done that yet. Okay. Did I like Mass Effect 3 overall? Asked Alfred. Yeah, I was one of the few people who, when I finished Mass Effect 3, I was like, that was pretty good. Most people were like, that was terrible. I was like, I thought it was pretty good. Was it exactly what I wanted? No. Everyone wanted, when they beat Mass Effect 3, they wanted what they were promised. That all of your choices over the trilogy were going to factor into this robust, amazing ending, and they didn't at all. Most of your choices were completely superfluous. It didn't matter whatsoever. And that sucked. So I thought that stunk, but at the same time, at the very same time, I wish that some people wouldn't hate on it as much as they do, because I don't feel that the ending was terrible either. I actually thought the ending was kind of interesting. So, someone asking, what happened to the King of Hate HD channel on YouTube? It says all the videos are not available in their country. The King of Hate HD was my original vlogging channel. I stopped uploading to it like in 2012, I want to say, maybe even earlier. What happened was, years and years ago, YouTube instituted a new change by which there was, I guess, some new advertisement or video sharing law. I don't know what it was, but they had a new terms of service they forced everyone to sign. I never logged into that channel to sign it. By the time I did log into that channel to sign it, they didn't let you sign it anymore. So they basically blacklisted the channel and no one could see the videos anymore. It's that simple. Why do I hate John Cena? I don't hate John Cena. I just like him as a wrestler. I think his wrestling character is very contrived, very unnatural, very superhero-ish, very He-Man-ish, he's the new Hulk Hogan. Only Hulk Hogan didn't always stay Hulk Hogan. He changed from the hero back to a villain character, back to a hero. He had versatility. John Cena has zero versatility. He's been the superhero forever. He's boring as shit to watch in the ring, and I don't like him as a wrestler. As a person, apparently he's a nice guy. I don't like him as a wrestler. Okay. It looks like we're running out of questions because I'm looking at the stream chat and I'm not really seeing much. Besides the people who are just being saying stupid stuff. Yep. I think this might be it. Why do the portrayals of you in pre-stream artwork not look like you? I don't make the art. I didn't make them. You'd have to ask the artists. I don't know. It's like a surprise. I know I would not do a Let's Watch special, watching a Christmas special, for multiple reasons. I don't have an overall favorite moment on my channel. I don't judge in absolutes, and after 11 years, I wouldn't be able to remember all the moments regardless. My opinion on marijuana is to each their own. If people want to do it, great. If not, I don't care. As long as it doesn't negatively affect me, I don't give a shit. Richard Link Cheerty says, do you think there's an afterlife? If so, are there games? I have no idea. I have no idea. Mr. Terrorhawk Cheerty says, what do you think of the Fiend as a character? I think he's a very interesting character. Sadly, I think he's now kind of one-dimensional and played out. Like, for example, I hadn't really watched SmackDown for the past couple of weeks leading up to Survivor Series. I knew that all of a sudden, for no reason, the Fiend had attacked Daniel Bryan. All of a sudden, he's wrestling Daniel Bryan for the title, and the match kind of didn't matter. Like, you knew Daniel Bryan wasn't going to win. And it sucks because the Fiend is like the hottest thing in WWE, except now he's deflated and no one cares about him. He's the champion, and no one really cares about him. How did WWE fuck that up? I don't know. Nope tipped me $3. Says, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? If I could change one thing about myself, what would it be? Just one thing, huh? That's a tough question. You know? If I could be younger and have more energy, that would be great. It would help benefit a lot of things. If I could change my personality so that I didn't get like angry at certain things, right? That would be better, I think, because I think that certain things tend to cause me a lot of rage on stream, and I wish I didn't get that full of rage sometimes. It's a really tough question. It's a tough question because in general, like, I'm okay with who I am. I understand I have shortcomings and faults, but in general, I'm okay with who I am. It's not like, man, I wish I was definitely a different person. You know what I mean? So it's a really tough introspective question. Maybe if I thought about this a lot longer, I'd be able to answer it. I wish I was a less gassy person. I wish I didn't have to fart and burp as much as I do. Very serious answer. Internet Famous McCroy tipped me another $1. Says, would you rather play a From Software open world RPG like Witcher 3 or Souls by CD Projekt Red? Huh? I don't even really understand it. So you're saying Witcher 3, but the combat is like gruelingly tough like Dark Souls? Or I see. So maybe, maybe Dark Souls, but with meaningful missions like Witcher 3. Like, imagine if Dark Souls had spoken word dialogue and had like a mission structure, like Witcher 3 did. That'd be awesome. There you go. Does Jasper still chew on my wires? I told you, he literally will only chew on wires when he wants attention. If he's getting attention, he doesn't chew on anything. He does it to get attention from humans. So I want attention today. I'm going to chew on a wire to get you to come over here and give me attention. So, Cynical 2DD tipped me $5. He says, what do you think of Modern Warfare? Will you play any of the previous games again someday? Probably not. I probably wouldn't play any of the previous games unless they were remastered and became popular again for some reason. As for Modern Warfare, you know, I think it's a game that I certainly have issues with the hit detection and the connections. I think that they're still flaky as shit, and Infinity Ward / Activision needs to fix that. But outside of that, I think the gameplay mechanics are interesting. I'm learning a little bit more about the game every time I play it. I think I will get better at it the more that I play it. I haven't played it nearly enough to be anything good at all. So maybe if I play a little bit more, I'll like it more. We'll see. And I am going to be playing it more, so. Okay. Oh, wow, this is an interesting question. Awful Waffle asks, who is the biggest dickhead you ever worked for at a previous job? When I worked at Circuit City, my original department boss was a guy who literally told me to lie to customers. Because when I first started, you know, trying to sell and everything, and I would sell a computer with some accessories or whatever. And then the guy would be like, well, that was good, but you should have done better. You should have sold this and this and this. I was like, oh, well, understand. I offered all that to them fully. This is exactly how they said they didn't want it. Oh, well, you should have lied to them and said this. What? Yeah, he wanted me to lie to customers and be like, tell them if they buy the protection plan that they can, like, drop their computer or spill coffee on it and they'll still get a replacement anyway. And I was like, but they won't. That's not covered. And he's like, yeah, but you want to make the sale. Then he kept telling me this. I'm not even kidding. He kept fucking telling me this. So eventually I went to my store manager and I was like, dude, like, I don't want to rock the boat here, but I'm uncomfortable because my manager keeps telling me to lie to customers and it's just fucked up. Like, I don't feel comfortable being pressured to do that. I'm not that kind of person. If I have to do that, I don't know if I want to work here anymore. So it was funny because eventually one day my department manager comes to me again and he goes, why did you tell the store manager that? I was like, because you did. And he's like, well, just so you know, no, you shouldn't lie to customers. I was like, okay, well, then why did you tell me to? Oh, I never did that. I was like, dude, yeah, right. Like, well, how many times you had the same conversation and you said, all right, told me to do it. And now you're like acting like it never happened. And then within I'd say about 3 to 4 months, that guy got transferred to another store and I had a new department manager. Funny how that works, huh? Okay. What's the worst experience I ever had at a GameStop? Asked Hydrocarbon. Honestly, I haven't had many bad experiences at a GameStop. When I used to buy games in Connecticut, when I was doing this as a thing, you know, as a hobby, and then as the first few years when I was doing this for a living in Connecticut, I was actually friendly with all the people at my local GameStop. We would chat about games. We would talk about internet and stuff, YouTube, and we were very friendly. So they knew not to pressure me about stuff like, oh, do you want the game protection plan and shit? They didn't ever do that to me. So it wasn't like I went to GameStop and I was, you know, abnormally pressured. What I would say is, you know, I hate it when, like, now I'll go to GameStop with Kat, and if Kat is going to buy something, they'll try to, like, you want the game protection plan, and you want this, and you want that. I don't want it. Well, you still want it. No, I don't, you know? And that's the sad part is at GameStop now they're pressured to just shove shit down your throat so hard that it becomes uncomfortable, you know? But in general, I haven't really had many negative experiences at a GameStop at all. So... oh my god, you guys are asking ridiculous questions now that I'm not going to answer, so unless I get a couple more good questions soon, I think I'm out of here, guys. Just saying. Have I ever friend-zoned a girl? Yes. Yes. I'm not going to tell any private stories, though, but yes. How many times do I take a shit a day? I think we're getting near the end of the stream. Internet Famous McCoy tipped me $1. He says, if you could start over, would you have stuck with Street Fighter tournaments or practiced more on and competed on other fighting games? You know, yeah, man. That's a tough question. You know, if I had practiced other fighting games during the interim when Street Fighter was pretty dead, you know, we're talking like maybe 2004 through 2009, I probably would have had more stuff to do, and it would have been more prominent because, you know, Tekken and other franchises were growing during that time when Street Fighter was on the decline because there were no new Street Fighter games. But then Street Fighter blew up with Street Fighter 4 in 2009, so being a Street Fighter player definitely benefited me at that time. I don't know, not to say that I don't like the other game franchises. I just always think Street Fighter has been the game franchise. It was the first one. It was the one I grew up playing in arcades. It was my forte. You know what I mean? Like, that's my gaming thing. If I want to play a fighting game, I crave Street Fighter. That's what I want to play. So I don't think that I would have, you know, I probably would have stuck with Street Fighter tournaments. Yeah. What do I think of Soul Calibur? Asked Richard Ling. I think it's a good franchise. I think it's fun. It's flashy. The character design's unique. I like some of the properties, but it's not a franchise that I ever sunk enough time in to know at a competitive level. So. Please rank the best fast food burgers. I don't even know how to answer that because I don't know. What do you consider fast food? Is Five Guys and the Habit Burger considered fast food? If so, they're above everything else. And then you probably got like Wendy's and maybe like a Jack in the Box, and then you've got like Burger King, and then you've got bottom of the barrel like McDonald's and shit like that, right? Do I think that Disney Plus will be bigger than Netflix one day? Maybe. Dude, Disney is a monster right now. They've got some of the biggest, if not the biggest, grossing movies this year between their own Disney stuff, the Pixar stuff, Star Wars, and Marvel. They're an insane dynamo that cannot be stopped. And all that stuff's going to be on Disney Plus, so it might beat it, dude. Would I ever want a bona fide new Dark Souls game? Yes. I want Dark Souls 4. I want it. They're not going to do it, but I want it. What's the city with the fattest people I ever visited? I don't know. When I go places, I'm not looking at people like that. You know, I'm not judgmental, so I wouldn't know where the fattest people ever have been. All right. I think we're about at the end of the stream here, guys. Absolute last chance. If anyone wants to ask a question, this is it. I'll give it another minute here, another go. But if I don't get any more interesting questions, we're going to call it a day here. You're welcome, Paradoxes. Thanks for the years of fun. No, I would not play a dance-based game anymore simply because I don't have room to do it. The office is too small to do anything with motion controls. Internet famous McCroy tipped another $1. He says, gaming tournaments today look a little sleazy to me. They look more like advertisements for keyboards. What was the gaming tournament scene when you were in it? Were they the same or more about the game? There was no advertisements at all for fighting games. There was no tie-in. There were no gaming companies who had tie-ins for advertisements for anything. So it was grassroots, 100% just players sitting around playing games with each other, and that's all it was about. There was no advertisement. There was no live streams. It was just you come, you play the game, you enjoy yourself. That's it. Complete polar opposite from what you're describing to me. So, will I ever do another Rockathon? No, I will not. Evo East was sponsored by Toyota. That's correct, but it wasn't all about sponsorship by Toyota. You know, it was funny. They had the Toyota Yaris car was there on display, and that was it. Even though it had a car there, nothing there at the game, nothing at the tournament was about advertisement except the car that was sitting there. And everyone looked at it like, why the fuck is there a car in here? No one's buying a car because we went to a game tournament, which is pretty funny. Who taught me how to play games when I was a kid? Nobody. I learned by myself. I literally learned everything by myself. I didn't have a gaming mentor or anything like that. Sadly, we got people who are spamming the stream chat and being stupid. Now I have to ban them because they don't learn. My favorite musical, probably either West Side Story or Phantom of the Opera. Will I ever switch up my facial hairstyle? Maybe, maybe not. Super Batcat said have a great day. Thank you, Super Batcat. You have a good day as well. Favorite desserts for Thanksgiving? Any kind of pie, apple, pumpkin, or some kind of like a last year we had apple tart things that were really good too. But typically pie is the quintessential holiday dessert, right? No, Daggy Swerve, I haven't seen any holiday art yet on the forums. I'll have to give it a look eventually. All right, thank you, Awful Waffles. I wish you a great dinner, my dude. Thank you very much. I can smell some of it cooking right now, which is great. What's my favorite Mexican food? I like a lot of Mexican food. Burritos, tacos, enchiladas, just specialty dishes. a ton. There's so much good Mexican food. I can't just put it down on one thing. Nope, I've not seen Avengers Endgame. Absolutely not. I didn't see it yet. Ibsel Finn says you can get Lost Odyssey on Xbox One. Would you consider it for a downtime playthrough? I got it when it was free for Xbox One subscribers. It's ready to go. I could play it right now if I wanted to. So one day I do plan on playing it. Hello, M5MSX. Kill Kenny says, are you not going to help Kat cook? There's not much for me to do. Everything she's doing is just putting it in the oven, except mashed potatoes, which I don't know how to make. So everything she's doing down there is just put it in the oven and wait. Or I think she's going to make her mashed potatoes a little bit on the early side. But I am going to help her once like the turkey and everything is going. I'm going to take it out and carve it and serve all the food. So, yes, I am aware Endgame's on Disney+. Well aware. Make some sauce. We did that yesterday. We did the homemade Italian sauce yesterday. I didn't ban anyone who joked about my goatee, so I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Hair tricks, whatever the hell your name is. Pfft. Master Programmer says, my dad and I are smoking our turkey. That's cool. Smoked turkey. Sounds good. And 5 minutes X says, how much longer are you going? I guess not much longer, because as you can see, it looks like the questions have kind of dried up. Like, this amazing question from Hydrocarbon. What's your favorite house appliance? I think when you're getting those kind of questions, you know the Q&A has dried up. Thank you, Blue Game 26. You're awesome. He'll keep up the great work. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I guess we will we'll wrap it up then. All right. Thank you guys very much for a great episode of Ask the King. Thanks to everyone who submitted questions on the forums, on Twitter, and of course those who asked stuff on stream today. Thanks to everyone who contributed on stream today. It is much appreciated. All right. The next episode of Ask the King will be in late January, probably around the 30th of January. At the end of the month there. Usually it's the last Thursday of the month is when I do Ask the King. And yes, you can still post up your questions over on thekingofhate.com right now. The new thread for the next show is already there and live and ready to go, so you can do so. I guess that's it. All right, so thank you guys very much for a great episode of Ask the King. I will see you in January for the next one. Thanks, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone who lives in the United States. I hope you have a great turkey day. If you're already eating already or if you're preparing, please have a good and safe one, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Later, everybody.